Hi, Andrea here with a quick tip for students who are screen reader users to convert inaccessible information into accessible information. As we delve into this new school year where students will be accessing information in multiple ways on various platforms, inevitably students who are screen reader users will run into information that is not accessible, such as a screen capture or scanned information or some sort of unlabeled graphical element. There are ways screen reader users can attempt to get useful information from those images. It won't always be perfect, but it can be better than nothing or potentially make something completely readable. Regardless, it's an important feature for students who are screen reader users to know. This will be demonstrated using NVDA and JAWS. At this time, Narrator does not have an OCR feature. Remember, these may not be perfect solutions. It depends on the complexity, legibility, and the amount of text shown in the picture that will determine the outcome of the information. I will show examples of documents where this will work and where it will not work. Let's begin with JAWS. You will need JAWS 2013 or newer to use the built-in convenient OCR features. We will focus on using OCR from the Windows File Explorer. You can OCR any image file using the application key to bring up the context menu or Shift plus F10 to bring up the context menu. You don't even need to open the file.
Items view
As you can see here, I have my File Explorer open and I am in my Pictures folder. I also have multiple documents open behind so that I can bring them up to show you what I am performing OCR on. The first document is a screenshot from the American Foundation for the Blind website.
To move to photos,
I used
OCR1AFB sample.jpg.
Alt-Tab to move between my open windows. So this is the article that I will be performing OCR on from the File Explorer menu. The title is American Foundation for the Blind Calls for Expanding Support for Nation Students with Disabilities During COVID-19 Pandemic. Then the article is below and there's some additional information on the right-hand side. I'll use Alt-Tab to focus back to my File Explorer.
Pictures to move to an item.
All right.
OCR1AFB sample.
So I have my focus on the document that I want to perform OCR on, and I'm going to use Shift F10 to bring up my context menu, but you could also use the application key if you have that on your computer.
Shift F10, context menu to navigate, press up or down arrow, O, open, O.
So as you heard, I can use my arrow keys to navigate. I could also use letters to navigate as well. As you can see, some letters here have an underline underneath them, which means that I could press that letter to move to that item. So convenient OCR with JAWS has the O underlined, so I'm going to go ahead and use O to get there.
O, convenient OCR with JAWS, O.
And I'm going to press Enter to execute the action.
Enter, leaving menus, pictures, items view multi-select list
Let it
box,
work its magic.
OCR1AFB sample.jpg, 8/18/2029 AM JPG file 192 KB, 40 of 57. To move to an item, press the arrow keys. Document OCR started. Pages right side up. American Foundation for the Blind calls for expanding support for nation students with disabilities during COVID-19 pandemic, Washington. D.C. space.
So it will automatically read once it is done performing OCR. You can also use your arrow keys to navigate this document. So as you can see here, it did a really nice job of capturing this information. Of course, that screen capture was nice and crisp and clean. It's very clear, very easy to read. So the OCR didn't have a problem with picking up the text in this image. So it's always important to remember that clarity of those images is super important and that they're not too cluttered. So and you can see that it pops up in its own window, OCR results, and you can actually grab this information by highlighting it and copying it and put it into a Word document or whatever document you prefer if you need to continue to work with that information. So now I'm going to use Alt F4 to close this to go on to the next item.
Alt F4, OCR1AFB sample.jpg.
So the next sample is a scanned newspaper document, and I'll show you what that looks like. So here we have a scanned newspaper article. It's a little crooked, a little crinkly, and not everything was captured on this scan. It's about chocolate from bean beans to bars, about Pinellas Chocolate Company. There's an image in the center with a caption for that image. Then the article surrounds this image. And there's also information put into different columns and into different boxes. So let's see how JAWS does capturing this information. So I'm going to Alt-Tab back to my window.
Pictures to move to an item. OCR2PCC.jpg.
And you guessed it, I'm going to use Shift F10.
Shift F10. Context menu.
And then I'm going to use O and enter.
Leaving menus. Pictures. Items view multi-select list box. OCR2PCC.jpg 8/17. A batch of Daddle Pepper chocolate is tempered at Pinellas Chocolate Company. Of specialty food is out there. Quote Adam admits that is current.
So as you can see, it did a really nice job capturing accurate text. And it did organize the information in the best way it could. So it's not a terrible job, and somebody could get some definite usable and readable information from here. So it started at a batch of Daddle Pepper and a map pinpoints. If we go back to the image, we can see here that the batch of Daddle Pepper is the caption underneath. And I don't quite, a map pinpoints the origins of the raw cacao is up at the very tip top above from beans to bars. So it did its best capturing the information, and it really did a good job of capturing the meat, I would say. So there's definitely usable information that could come from this. I'm going to close the results, Alt F4, and go back to my File Explorer. Now I'm going to show you a screen capture that is not very clear and is low quality, and we'll see what JAWS does with this. So this is a literature review worksheet. The title is Includes 6 of these 8 essays and an additional 2 that you have chosen yourself, and then it has a list of article titles and then some further explanation of the assignment. It's, as you can see, it's grainy. It's not really high quality, and I did enlarge this as well. It was super small, so it's a smaller file as well. So I'm going to go back to my File Explorer by using Alt Tab.
Pictures to move to an item. Press.
Use my down arrow key. I'm
going
to bring up my context menu by, you guessed it, Shift F10.
Shift F10. Context menu.
I'm going to use my arrow keys this time.
Create a new video. Edit with convenient OCR with JAWS.
Enter.
Enter. Leaving menus. Pictures. Items view multi-select list box. OCR3.
And it's going to work its magic.
Fair to the cultural economy of fantasy. Okay,
so here in the OCR results window, it didn't do such a great job. So definitely some different information here because of the grainy text, and it wasn't very high quality. It says includes 6 of the, and then some misspellings, essays eaten, in addition ton that you have chosen yourself, and also a bunch of errors. Introduction is spelled wrong, and then it didn't even get some of the articles of the or the names of the articles correct. So it doesn't always work how we would like it to. All right, I'm going to close this by using Alt F4.
Alt F4, OCR.
Okie dokie, so I'm back to my File Explorer window, and I have one last sample to show you. And this is a screenshot of a worksheet identifying populations and samples. Use the scenario to identifying populations and samplings. And it has 4 questions on the page, multiple choice questions, I should say. And 1 and 2 are across the top from left to right, and then 3 or 4 underneath 1 and 2. And the answers column is all the way on the right hand side as well. So let's see how JAWS does capturing this information. I'm going to Alt Tab back to my pictures folder. So let's go ahead and use our shortcut key. If you said Shift plus F10, you are correct. And we're going to do O and enter.
Enter. Leaving menus. Pictures. Items view multi-select list box. O space. Identity in populations and samples name : use the scenario to identifying populations and samplings. Answers I write parent A.
So as you can see here, it didn't get everything quite correct. Again, this is not a great quality screen capture, and information is spread out over the page. It did manage to get the answer choices under each question. However, some of the answer choices are displayed incorrectly. For example, it identified 3,800 children as 1,800 children. So there could be some issues, of course, if you were trying to answer the question correctly. I'm going to use Alt F4 to close this.
Alt F4, OCR4 sample.
And so that's pretty much it for JAWS. You can also use this on PDFs, which is really nice. I will do a quick
To move to a JAWS script, photos,
oops.
picture, OCR
review.
Always
Of course, I have a paid version of Adobe, so it does come with OCR. But if your student only has access to the Adobe standard, then they will not have that OCR capability. So it's really nice that the screen reader has it built in, JAWS and NVDA. So real quick, all you would have to do here is you're going to activate the OCR layer in JAWS. You can use the context menu on the file from the File Explorer, but if you have the PDF open, you can also do Insert plus Space, and you let go of that, then you press O, and then you're going to do D, let's say for Document.
Document OCR started. Capabilities. Number 1,
Oof.
list of 1 item.
Oof.
Bullet, bullet. List and first ever viral list of 1 items. Bullet, list and Florida 0.
So it took the symbraille that was in that image and identified it as bullets, it looks like. And it does look like it captured some of the clear text information, but it did not do a great job of capturing that image. So real quick, side by side, I think that the bullets are the symbraille for sure. But anyway, so that's just how you do that quick OCR layer, activating it by pressing Insert and Space at the same time, and then O for OCR, and then D, sorry, for Document. All right, we're going to close these out.
Alt F4, document, Alt F4, photos,
okay, and then I want to show you really quick how to use this in NVDA. So we're going to exit out of JAWS. I'm going to press Insert J to bring up the menu, and then Alt F4 to close.
Alt F4, quick enter,
and bring up NVDA.
Welcome. You showed okay. Photos window.
Okay, so I'm going to go back to that literature review worksheet using Alt Tab to get there. And with the actual file open is how you're going to use NVDA. So it's not going through the File Explorer, it's on the actual document or window that you have open, and it's really easy keystroke to remember. It's Insert R. So I'm going to press Insert and then R at the same time.
Recognizing result document.
So you heard NVDA say result document. It doesn't bring up a separate window like the OCR feature in JAWS. And NVDA relies on the Windows 10 OCR to grab content from images. So you still can interact with this and select the information and copy and paste it into a Word document, and you would navigate it by using the arrow keys. So let's hear what NVDA did with this literature review worksheet.
Include 6 of these 8 essays and an additional 2 that you have chosen yourself a star. Getting to know us, an introduction to the study of Pop 1 AR culture, defining popular culture, fandom as pathology. Why study fans, the cultural economy of fans.
So if you remember earlier, this document was not read that well with JAWS OCR. So NVDA did a little bit better job with this document, but that's not always the case. It does about the same when you actually use it on that math document as well, and it puts the answer choices in the wrong places. So it's important for your student to know how to use these OCR features in each of these screen readers so that they have a choice to see if one will work better with a document than the other, especially if time is of the essence and they're trying to get access to some information. So that is it for using JAWS and NVDA, the built-in OCR features. I hope you learned something new. If you have any questions, please feel free to email me at awallace, AWALLACE, at FIMC-VI.org. Thank you for watching.